Destroy your old self. This is the only way you can transform yourself into the man with the energy levels, the shape, and the health that you always wanted. And the older you get, especially at the ages of 40, 50, 60, it gets more and more difficult. So if you are a man of this age group, you definitely want to watch this video until the end, as this is what majority of my clientele is from. So majority of my clients are from this age group, and I know the struggles that they are going through, and we have achieved several successful transformations with them, but it came at a price, right? And this price was a massive identity shift. And of course, the younger you are, the easier it is to shift your identity, because your true identity is just being formed, right? This is not something which is direct, not something which is like concrete or rock solid identity. But the older you get, and of course the more experiences you have, the more difficult it gets to let go of your bad and harmful and unhealthy habits. So how do you destroy your old self, right? How do you just start shedding off that old skin and gain that new skin, that new person, those new energy levels that you want to be having, right? So I totally understand that if in the past years or past decades you have put your health on the back burner because you had different priorities. For example, your family, your business, your career, you had to juggle all of this and everything in between, right? Moving, travel, location changes, massive changes in your life that you might have had or might have had not control over. I'm of the opinion that you can always have control over your health, but of course, if it has not been a priority for you in the past and you have just realized that, okay, it might should have been or should be right now, then you are at the perfect place. And I'm going to walk you through the process that we're using with our clients to gain this kind of new identity and make them seamless, or make it seamless for them to take up these new habits, which are contributing to a healthy lifestyle, which they can sustain for decades to come. Okay, so this is not a 90-day fat loss challenge or a big booty boot camp or whatever, right? This is not that type of shredding challenge or whatever. We are talking about habits for a lifetime, okay? That you can cultivate and you can still grow, you can still progress, even after a while that no one is holding your hands. Because of course, it helps a lot in the beginning, in the first half year, the first year, to have a coach who keeps you accountable and so on, and makes sure that you're always making progress. But the number one sign of a good coach is that he doesn't have to hold your hand forever, right? Because you have grown enough under his mentorship that you can maintain the progress by yourself. And this is what we do at Demi Cycle Protocol. And this is how we shift an identity. So how do you shift that is first start with imagination. So you imagine that ideal person that you want to become at 70 years old. So let's say in 30 years, you want to become that ripped, lean, energetic grandpa who is still slam dunking while playing basketball, right? All the other grandmas are looking at you, being jealous of your wife. You are playing with your grandkids, right? You are swimming in the pool with them, you're playing water polo, whatever your passion is, right? Or whatever you'd like doing with your family. You can go hiking, you can go long trails, you can go canoeing, kayaking. You feel like you are autonomous and you have complete freedom over your body. That would be the goal, right? And just feeling good in your skin, being confident about yourself, right? Because this is what men don't really want to admit themselves, especially around the age of 40, that they are not confident. Because at that point, you have made it. Most of you have made it in your career. Most of you have made it in business, right? Or at least the ones of you who are watching this channel and are eager to improve yourselves. You have done your part, and that gives you a certain amount of confidence. But still, when you're standing next to the pool or on the beach, right, and you're embarrassed to take your shirt off, right, or you're embarrassed by how these shirts are fitting on you and that you gained another belt size, and so on and so on and so on, maybe you need to buy a bigger belt. These are all the things that are ruining your confidence, and they either consciously or subconsciously make you feel bad about yourself. But the solution is not feeling bad or feeling pity for yourself, but shifting your identity. So you think of the future person you want to become, below 15% body fat, still having abs at 70 years old, chasing physical excellence while still having fun and not spending too much time in the gym, right? So a sustainable and fun lifestyle, which you can sustain while traveling, meanwhile still crushing it in business, spending as much time as you can with your family, as much quality time, so you can actually be present. You can feel the energy, you're not anxious about anything else, you are present in the moment. And being present in the moment always starts with getting your health right. And you imagine this person and you start observing. So for example, with my clients, it's just a behind the scenes or Easter egg, or call it whatever you want, but we always start with an onboarding call where we answer and ask some questions together. Some very important questions about how they imagine their lives in 20, 30 years, right? How they imagine themselves as an older person. And when we go through these questions, we want to picture an ideal life. And once you picture this ideal life, in the center there is this ideal person, the future you. And you start observing and asking questions. You ask questions from the future you. Okay, what are your habits? How do you carry yourself? How do you look like and how do you feel like in your skin? How do you perform? What were the habits and what were those simple daily actions that you have taken to get there? Right? And now that you have crafted this identity for yourself, you won't be hyper-fixated on the results, you won't be neurotic. Okay, am I losing fat fast enough? No. Am I doing all the actions that my future me, the perfect future me, would have done to get there? Right? So now you focus on the actions instead of the outcomes. And once you got the actions in place, the outcomes will follow. You very well know it from business, you very well know it from your professional life. So all you need to do is just to translate that mindset and translate that discipline into your health habits, and there should be no problem with your health transformation. But, okay, now that you have crafted this new identity and you are ready to take on these new habits, there is some shit that hits the fan, right? And this is destroying your old self, killing your old habits. But it doesn't work like you start or you just quit something. I hate the word quit. You can't quit. There are certain bad habits, certain addictions, certain vices that you just can't quit. You can only replace them. Because this is how the human brain works. We are by nature addictive creatures. We get addicted to something and we stay addicted to that shit. How do we make sense of this? How do we then become healthy if our default habits are unhealthy, or the learned habits during our lifetime are unhealthy? How do we get rid of them if we can't just quit? We will replace. So this is why I always say, don't quit, replace. Get the old habit, get that addiction, grab it by the balls, those vices, and then replace it with a healthy alternative. So it's like the straight opposite what happens to, for example, drug addicts who start with light drugs, which are the so-called gateway drugs. They get into heavier and heavier stuff because once they try to get down from, let's say, weed or mushrooms, they start taking heavier and heavier stuff just to replace the feeling that they got from it. But how about you start investigating why I was smoking weed, why I was drinking alcohol, why I was doing shrooms, right? What kind of void I was trying to fill. Where is the root cause of my problem? And once you find the root cause of the problem, you start finding something which solves the root cause. And that will be your new habit. That will be your replacement habit. But you can't just quit. You can't just go cold turkey. At least with most of your vices, with most of your bad habits, you can't go cold turkey, right? And I'm not talking about heavy stuff like heroin. I'm talking about most of the stuff that these 40, 50-year-old men, just like you watching this, might have been dealing with. So some problems with alcohol, some problems with substances like weed or mushrooms, or maybe porn addiction, right? Or maybe being addicted to blue lights, watching something, scrolling on social media, whatever that keeps your brain occupied and supplies it with dopamine. Because many of you might have confused it, or might be confused that, okay, aren't these like young people things? No, unfortunately, like middle-aged men have really high screen times. On average, it's 3.5 hours a day or more. And sometimes it involves the consumption of pornographic content. Sometimes it involves the consumption of things that just fry your brain, mindless scrolling, right? And the same goes for alcohol. Drinking for the sake of drinking, right? Or taking any kind of substance that it's hard to get off of, right? But how do you replace it, right? Most of the times, as I said before, you can't go cold turkey, because then you won't think about it for a day or two, and then everything in your brain will revolve around consuming that substance again, or giving into your vices again. And you don't want this to happen. Your goal should be finding a replacement habit and start flexing it. What do I mean by flexing it, right? So first, you make a division, let's say 50-50. So 50% of the time you would touch the vape, the cigarette, the booze, right? 50% of the time you will say, no, I'm touching my replacement habit, right? Which makes me feel better and is healthy for me and treats the root cause. So for example, if stress is the reason that you're taking alcohol, you will do something stress reduction related. You might start working out. You might start taking ashwagandha. You might start doing anything that reduces your cortisol. So for example, drinking a glass of sparkling water. Whatever, there are countless of ways to reduce your stress levels. And stress is only one of the reasons why people tend to consume certain substances. So there are many replacement habits. I won't go too much detail into that, but we provide our clients with thousands of different options. Basically, whatever suits their lifestyle. But you start doing the replacement habit 50% of the time. Meanwhile, you're still keeping the old habit another 50% of the time. And on a weekly basis, you start flexing the percentages in a pace that it's comfortable for you. So like, it could be a 10% flex every week, a 20% flex, until you get to the point where you just don't feel the urge of practicing the old bad habit anymore. Why haven't I mentioned like, okay, I could mention stress snacking, but why don't I mention sweets and stuff like that? Because I'm a fitness coach with a sweet tooth. I love sweets. I love chocolate. I eat it every single day, yet I'm still lean. I have clients who eat chocolate, ice cream, and cookie dough every single day, and they stay lean. So the thing is, when it comes to food, it's the food addiction that you want to kind of like treat, but not the cravings. Cravings are natural. The thing that you want, sugars, it's natural. Simply, you just need a diet plan where what enables you to actually eat these sweet things and still lose fat in a sustainable way. So this is what we do with our diet planning protocols. But when it comes to other habits, this kind of flexible approach works perfectly, and it allows you that eventually you can completely eliminate the old bad habits. So this is how you destroy yourself. And why do I say destroy? Because health and everything in life, if we put this into a spiritual context, it's about rebirth. So you're rebirthing yourself, you are being reborn. So it's kind of like you're crucifying your old habits so your new habits can be reborn, resurrected, and get back to the earth, right? Get back into your spirit. And now that spirit will operate your body. And now your body will be aligned with your new spirit. So this way you can become healthy. Healthy body, healthy brain, healthy spirit. It's pretty simple since the dawn of time, but it's a good reminder for everyone to look deep into ourselves, look for the root causes and treat those instead of just the symptoms, because alcohol might help you fall asleep, but did you know that it will completely destroy your deep and REM sleep? You definitely don't want that, because these are the most important sleep stages responsible for information processing and also muscle recovery and many other processes in your body, both hormonal and metabolical processes. So if you really want to change your lifestyle and you want to get rid of these old bad habits, stop thinking about them as something that you want to quit. This is something that you want to replace. And once you find your replacement habit and you find out that it works and you can flex the percentages of practicing the old habit and practicing the new habit, at the end of the day, you will find way more joy in practicing the replacement habit rather than the old bad habit. So in your case, the only thing that you have to pay attention to is that the replacement habit is not another substance, not another harder drug, but it's actually something that builds you up. So you need constructive habits, not deconstructive habits. So don't think of your bad habits as gateway drugs. Think of them as a necessary bad that you will need for this replacement, right? The only gateway drug you need is the gateway drug to success. And the gateway drug to success is recognizing that you need a massive change in your life, in your lifestyle, and you want to shift your identity. You want to destroy your old self. And you can't delay it anymore. You can't procrastinate. You can't make excuses that you're not ready for this, because you have always been ready, but your bad habits kept holding you back. So once you recognize those, you can't make the excuses anymore, because you have just treated the root cause of all excuses. The excuses regarding time, the excuses regarding location, the excuses regarding that you're too old for this. You're not too old, you're never too old to change your habits. You're never too old to craft a healthier lifestyle for yourself. So this is my message for today, and thanks for watching, guys. If you ever struggled with any kind of addiction or any kind of vices and you successfully overcame it, let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear about your experiences. And if you happen to be a 40 to 50 years old guy who struggles with these certain different types of addictions or vices or bad habits, and you are ready today to take massive action for your health and to get the shape, the energy levels, and the lifestyle that you deserve, and that would make you feel good, make you feel energetic, and perform much better in your personal life, in your business, and at your training sessions as well, then feel free to go to the description, book a free call with us, and let's see what kind of game plan we can craft up for you to get you there in less than 2 to 3 hours per week, or without counting calories or restricting your diet. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is to have fun and to enjoy the process of becoming that healthy, lean, energetic, and sexually active 70-year-old man that you want to become in a few decades. So thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you liked it. Share this with your teammates, your colleagues, your family members, and have an amazing day.